Ethics is a big deal in the world of business. CEOs and high-level executives are faced with ethical dilemmas every single day. Today I want to address a topic that I personally connect with. Could there be a CEO or high-level executives within a pharmaceutical company that has decided to hide the cure of diabetes because it is more profitable to treat this non-terminal illness than it is to actually cure it? Or is it possible that if a cure was to arise, a CEO and high-level executives would decide to sweep it under the rug and tell their scientists to sit on the cure because the revenue generated from treating this illness with modern medicines and equipment is too great? Yes, it is controversial, and yes, it is thought-provoking, but it may not be as far-fetched as it seems. Dr. Micah Dickey is now going to give a little bit of background information on understanding diabetes.
Hi, this is Dr. Micah Dickey, and this is 1 Minute to Understanding Diabetes. Diabetes is one of the most common illnesses treated in doctors' offices, and it can lead to all kinds of nasty things like heart attack, stroke, kidney disease, blindness, and even amputations. Most of the issues from diabetes cause from having excess sugar or carbohydrate in your blood. Normally, this sugar is taken up by cells with the help of the hormone insulin, and the cells use it as energy. Well, here's the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. In type 1 diabetes, you don't have enough insulin to help the cells take up the sugar. In type 2 diabetes, maybe you don't have enough insulin, or maybe the cells just can't figure out what the insulin wants to do. So it's like the sugar's knocking on the cell's door, and the cell's like, go away.
The reason that I am personally connected with this topic is because I am a type 1 diabetic. Like Dr. Dickey said, my pancreas does not produce any insulin. I am one of 29 million Americans who suffer from this illness. Over the years, advances in treatment and research have made great strides. There are insulin pumps that now deliver insulin autonomously and continuous glucose monitoring systems that monitor blood sugar levels constantly throughout the day. My doctor, Jorge Deboul, has said that a cure is right around the corner. As a matter of fact, the medical community has believed that a cure was right around the corner for some time now. Dr. Atkinson from the University of Florida's College of Medicine has told the New York Times that he has been told for decades that a cure was right around the corner. He told the Times that in 2004. Here we are 12 years after he had told them that for decades he has been hearing about a cure being right around the corner. And what we have are fancier versions of insulin pumps and glucose monitoring systems that are very, very expensive. It begins to beg the question as why the cure hasn't been found yet. Is it because treating this disease is too profitable? Treating diabetes is a $132 billion industry each year, and that is just in the United States. You can see in this chart how many people in the world are affected by it. If you are a company in this industry, the potential revenues to be gained are tremendous. Time and time again throughout history, corruption in business has proven to us that the incentive to make more money could outweigh making the right ethical decisions. The infamous Enron scandal involving their CEO Jeffrey Skilling as well as other high-level executives proves this. A CEO of a pharmaceutical company perhaps might be more tempted to do something like this because diabetes is a non-terminal illness. Referencing a lecture from Professor Taylor earlier this semester, someone is more likely to do something unethical if they feel that the blood is not directly on their hands. A CEO might feel this is not so bad since by them not revealing the cure, no one is dying directly from his or her decision. If we were talking about a disease like cancer, for example, they could feel that the blood is directly on their hands. If a cure was developed, this multi-billion-dollar industry would be almost completely gone, and many of the pharmaceutical companies would take extensive hits, if not going out of business. As shown in this diagram, diabetes typically accounts for 1/4 of the revenue of pharmaceutical companies. If this industry was wiped out, the losses incurred would be big. One could see how the idea of just continuing to treat this disease and make millions off of it could be better than the alternative. My suggestion to combat even the smallest possibility of something like this happening would be to have an outside agency conduct an internal investigation. Most likely, some sort of regulation would have to be passed by the government to enforce that this happens. I believe that this agency could also go through the board of directors since they are overseeing top-level management and would want to know if management was acting unethically. This idea would work because the board wants to know what is going on with the company and if management is doing the right things. Also, any findings that would happen because of the investigation would create a public outcry and would hopefully deter other CEOs from acting unethically in the future. Corruption in business is all around us. Imagine if this cure was being hidden by a CEO. It would drastically change the lives of 29 million Americans and millions more worldwide. It doesn't hurt to maybe start asking questions and demanding answers.